Big time.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So we're up to Sichot 182, Rebbe Nachman's Wisdom. Okay, you could open up 182, page 289. I mean, I have it in the sheets also, but. Okay. I heard, the Rebbe once said, no one is really opposing me. They are merely opposing a person who's doing the things they fabricate against me, and they are correct in imposing such a person. So, right, pretty amazing, right? So, like, as we know, like, Rebbe Nachman had tons of machlokas against him, like, for sure the Misnagdim, and then there even, like, he had a lot of Hasidish opposition against him, too. Like, the Shpola Zaidi is the most famous one, his most,
Outspoken?
what?
Most
outspoken oppressor, yeah, and like really like spread like lots and lots of things against him. And there's all these stories that Reb Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev was on Rebbe Nachman's side, and he like tried to calm down the Shpola Zaidi and said that a lot of his allegations weren't true. But people, you know, as we know Rebbe Nachman, you know, like we learn his stuff a lot, right? And like you could see that he said very out there things that could be taken out of context, and he was really, and nothing came easily. Like he had a ton of slack that came with everything, you know? So, but just to go over this one line again, right? Like, I guess this is how he viewed it. Like now we're having like a little glimpse into this, right? Like he's saying like, it's not really against me. It's against like what they think.
Right.
What they think.
Fear. It's like it comes from a space of fear.
Right. But you see that he's like not,
Accusing
he's not really taking it personally. That's how I looked at it. Right. Like it's not personal. Like he's basically saying here, like it's not personal. Like it's not,
Right.
it's something that whatever they're fabricating against me that they think that I'm saying, that's really what they're angry about. You know? Okay, well,
It's so freeing. Imagine if we could live that way.
and that's
Not
what,
think anything. Nothing is about you.
right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Yeah. I have like other sources. Hopefully it will help us like get more clarity on this and get deeper into it. But okay, so those who were against the Rebbe invented all sorts of false accusations against him. These accusations were totally without foundation and did not apply to the Rebbe at all. However, a person who is guilty of what was contained in these accusations would certainly be worthy of their opposition. Therefore, these people are not opposing the Rebbe at all. So Rebbe Nachman saying, like, if it was true, if these accusations were true, like, then they should oppose me. They're actually in the right, but they were lies. But they weren't true, you know? If they actually knew of the Rebbe's greatness and holiness, they would certainly not oppose him. They would run to follow him with the greatest zeal and enthusiasm, but they are actually opposing a fictitious character of their own making. They created a character who did the things they were accusing the Rebbe of doing. It would certainly be proper to oppose such a person. Yeah. The Rebbe said, Sigh haben sich aus Geschins a Mensch und kriegen auf him. Good? Good? Okay. Phew, okay. They have carved out a man and are opposing him. They are not actually opposing the Rebbe, but the fictitious character they have portrayed in his place. Did you guys understand the Yiddish? I'm just curious. Those who, like, you were like, yeah? Like, are you? A mensch. That one I knew too. Okay. Okay.
I took Yiddish for 2 years.
Oh. Wow. So did you understand the line before I explained it? Yocheved, did you understand it before I explained it?
No, I really,
Right.
I probably could. I never.
If you cracked your head on it.
Krieg, no.
Okay.
Krieg is a war. Yeah.
Okay.
We had to
Right.
translate Chumash into Yiddish for each.
That's I had to do that also.
Oh my gosh. So you're probably really fluent.
No.
What? BYA and Flatbush?
They should have offered Yiddish in high schools. Like
BYA made you teach?
Wow. It's so interesting where we all come from. Okay. So anyway.
Or like a sheepish. Like, I went to Shiva Brooklyn, so that was like a Vada we're teaching.
But it was in the 80s.
80s.
Yeah. It was
Do we
Okay.
know what they
Israel, we
said
have no
about
Zero
the
Yiddish.
fictitious
But he
characters?
translates in Hebrew.
Yeah,
What were
the
they saying?
accusations?
What were the accusations? I'll tell you. Hold on. I looked it up. Just give me a second and I'll tell you. Hello, Goldie. Welcome. You might want to grab a chair and just sit next to Bila. Yeah. The chair, you could grab that chair or the plastic chair, whatever. Whatever's comfortable. I don't, I'm just offering. Okay. Okay, first of all, it could be. I'm just looking it up now. But there was like a few things it says leadership style and authority, which is true. Like Rebbe Nachman said, my fire will burn till the coming of Mashiach. If people knew my greatness, he said, right. So, it's, even people now are like, what is that,
The Rebbe was the Lubavitcher Rebbe also.
Right,
People are opposed to the fact that he never told Hasidim that he's not Mashiach.
right, exactly. So that,
Yeah, but everyone knew when the Rebbe was alive that he was godless. I'm not really sure that while he was alive, people were opposing his Torah.
No, people are. I'm just explaining. It's very similar
right.
to what Effie.
Yeah, no, it's not,
Chabad
right.
were against the Chabad Rebbe.
Right, because-
What do you know about tefillah? It doesn't say it here, but maybe you probably know. Yeah.
They published like Rebbe Nachman's Likutei Tefillot, so then they were very against creating a new davening,
Right. New, added tefillos. Right.
When he was alive, he
Right.
said, if these things were true, I would totally understand why they would be opposing. So I'm
Right.
just curious what those things
I
are.
think he just means they're saying things that are like, they're afraid of something in him, right?
Right.
So they're like latching on to, it's about you, right? It's about what you're afraid of, what you think is negative.
The unknown. A lot of times,
Yeah,
people
like
like
these
the unknown space of where
revolutionary,
he's right.
like,
Right. He was
We're not
very
familiar
eccentric,
with this way of thought.
But I'll look it up. I'll get back to you.
What was Shabbat's feet?
Right. That was like Hasidus in general. I'm saying even Hasidic Rebbes were against Rebbe Nachman.
So there's a big fear.
Right.
But I think it's still
Shabtai Tzvi was in the 1700s. Yeah, right. In late 1600s, and then the Baal Shem Tov was born in 1700 or something.
a lot of people that we
Early,
identify today
yeah.
were fought against their left, and I think that's so confusing to me because now what about the people that we don't hold of now, but maybe in 20 years when they're dead, they'll
Right.
Always.
I don't know. We could get into it later. Okay, so now I want to do Sichot 78. Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, that's why you have to, whatever, Rebbe Nachman will tell you daven, daven to know who the true tzaddik hamas is, It's very confusing, and we're gonna talk about it a bit. Okay. So Sichot 78 is on page 179, okay?
Do you have another book, Effie?
Yes. They're both here. Whatever your heart desires. It's in both places. Okay. Sichot 78. Okay. Fairness is in every place. A person may commit every outrage. Hey. But he's still, no worries. Fairness is in every place. A person may commit every outrage, but he still has this, oh wait, I think it's 77, right? Sorry. Sichot 77. It's 177. Did I know, but I meant to do 77. I do that sometimes. Okay, we're on, guys, Sichot 77. Page 177 on mine. Okay. The world, did I photocopy the right one for you? I'm sorry. Okay. The world is full of strife. You could take one. Okay, take it because it's a little long. The world is full of strife. It's page 177. There are wars between the great world powers. There are conflicts within different localities. There are feuds among families. There is discord between neighbors. There is friction within a household between man and wife, between parents and children. Right? The world's full of fighting, right? And it is encouraging, isn't it? Yeah. there's a lot, you know? Right. Life is short. People die every day. The day that has passed will never return, and death comes closer every day. But people still fight. I guarantee you he read Yov, you know? But people still fight and never once remember their goal in life, right? Like, that's what it comes down to. Like, there's fighting everywhere, and like, we just like, I'll tell you right now, because I tend to be in machlokas right now, you know? So like, it's so much noise, you know? Like, it takes up your entire brain space.
It takes you out of your life. It takes you out of your life.
Yeah, you're literally, you're out of your life, you know? And for sure, hey, Atara. Hey, Shaya. Welcome. Okay. And right, so there's fighting wherever we look. Well, right, it's a huge, it takes over. And like, it's hard to remember your goal in life because like, you're all wound up, you know? Again, speaking from personal experience right now. So, okay, so Rebbe Nachman's saying here, just to fill you guys in, we're talking about like fighting, and we're ending by, Rebbe Nachman saying, but life is short, people die every day, the day that has passed will never return, and death comes closer every day, but people still fight and never once remember their goal in life. Okay, whatever. Okay. All strife is identical. The friction within a family is a counterpart of the wars between nations. Each person in a household is the counterpart of world power, and their quarrels are the wars between those powers. So Rebbe Nachman's saying, like, everything is like reflective of the worlds, of like everything that's happening in the world. Like, Hashem sends in like an energy, and like it's represented globally, it's represented personally, it's represented familiarly, you know, like on every level, like this is this, thank you. In every, right, it's a microcosm, and on every level this is happening. Okay, the traits of each nation are also reflected in these individuals. Some nations are known for anger, others for bloodthirstiness. Each one has its particular trait. The counterparts of these traits are found in each household. You may wish to live in peace. You may have no desire for strife. Still, you are forced into dispute and conflict. Exactly. Like, nobody is asking for this, you know? Nobody's asking to fight with their husbands, to fight with their kids, for Iran. Like, nobody's like asking for any of these things, right? But like, we're forced into it. Like, we're forced into this dispute and conflict. And nations are the same. A nation may desire peace and make many concessions to achieve it, right? Like, even like Tzava Haganah Yisrael, right? Like, we're the defense. That's what our army is. Defense, Haganah, defense. Not offensive, defensive, you know? Like, Israel doesn't want to be in all these wars and conflicts, but they're defensive. Like, they have, right, it's forced upon them, you know? But no matter how much it tries to remain neutral, it can still be caught up in war. Two opposing sides can demand its allegiance until it's drawn into war against its will. The same is true in a household, right? Like, you know, parents don't want to fight with their kids. Wives don't want to fight with their husbands. But it's like, nobody's asking for this, but like, we're forced, Rebbe Nachman says. You're forced into this dispute and conflict. Man is a miniature world, from the Zohar. His essence contains the world and everything in it. A man and his family contain the nations of the world, including all their battles. A man living in isolation can become insane. Within him are all the warring nations. His personality at a particular time is that of the victorious nation. So I love this also because, like, he's not like, okay, so it's not just like the people around us, like even ourselves, like we're constantly in our own inner wars.
This is like IFS,
Yeah.
like all the parts fighting.
Right. It is like IFS, yeah. Each time a different nation is victorious, he must change since he plays the rules of all the nations. This can drive him insane. Reading about it is making me, for he is alone and cannot express the war within him.
That's crazy though, because I think what he's saying is that the fights, which is what you were saying, Esther, fights we have with each other are just expressions of the wars within ourselves.
Right. For sure. I mean, projection, like, so, or if you want to give it like a therapeutic name, but it's so much deeper than that. So it's not even, but yeah, like we'll get into it more. But when one lives with others, these battles are expressed through his family and friends. There may be strife in the household of a tzaddik. This too is a war between nations. It is also the war between the 12 tribes, such as between Ephraim and Judah, from Yeshaya and Yechazkel. When the Mashiach comes, all wars will be abolished. The world will have eternal peace, as it is written. They will neither hurt nor destroy, from Yeshaya. Okay. Did I photocopy the right one for you? It's in there? Oh, okay, good. Maybe I wrote 78, but it was really 77. Okay. I do that sometimes. Okay. Okay, so it's really Sichot 77. So, okay, so just to talk about like war, just talk about fighting for a little bit, it's like, I think like every person is like, we all come with like all our different traumas and all our different priorities, and then like, it's like a miracle anybody gets along, and then we like, because we are, like, this is what Rebbe Nachman is saying, like every person is a whole world. Man is a miniature world. And we have so many opposing thoughts just on our own. And then on top of that, we have to like go into a relationship. And on top of that, and globally, then we're part of a country, and our country has to go into relationships with other countries. And it's just like a wild thing. And the world, and Rebbe Nachman saying that the world is full of strife, but when Mashiach comes, like it's gonna end. So I heard this from Shia, who quoted Joey Rosenfeld, but he was saying that like what is shalom? Like what's peace? And it's actually like holding space for chaos. That's what, did you ever hear this before, Goldie? Yeah? Okay. So like what does that mean? And it's like, I was like thinking about it. It's like like shalom is really just supposed to be like a kli. Like even like if you look like, we always like it's a kli to hold like all these different perspectives and all these different outlooks and controversies. Like it's not, meaning you're not saying that the machlokas isn't there. The machlokas is there. Like I disagree with you. I don't agree with the way you do life. I don't agree with the way you, whatever, the way you raise your kids, the way this, the way that, whatever, as if it's my place to say how you do it, but whatever, like I'm just giving examples, but it's just like, it's there, like we disagree, but shalom is like the key of shalom is to like expand this kli, this vessel, and make it be able to contain all the different strife and all the different outlooks and all the different perspectives.
Without causing problems.
It's like acknowledging that there's like difference and whatever, and not putting energy into it and just saying like, okay, this is the difference and this is the reality of it, and I don't need to put energy into it. It could just be that way.
It's not resolving it, it's just
Like you could be this way and I could be this way, and
I think I think like real shalom. I think things do need to be resolved and things need to be talked out and everything. But I think if you're holding space for the chaos, like as Reb Joey says, right? You're holding space for this chaos. The resolve looks very different and comes very differently. It doesn't mean just sucking it up.
You're not trying to be the same. Like the goal in Shalom is not to make everyone the same. Everyone can be on the same
everyone
thing.
agree, right?
Like,
Everyone doesn't have to agree.
Agree
It's just
to disagree.
Right. I mean, I think that's where
it's
like
to not bear a grudge. It's not okay. Like be totally like calm and regulated about the matzav and not like.
Well, I think that's also like where boundary works comes in. Like you can't, like 100%. Let's say God forbid there's an abusive relationship, like it's not like, oh, I hold space and I don't judge you and you're doing what you need to do. Like, no, like then you're allowed to do what you want to do, but I'm making my boundary.
Right.
And like I will have nothing to do with you.
Right.
But it's still holding space.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, does that make sense at all?
Literally being at peace, like Shalom. It's like being
right,
at
like
peace
it's
with
like it's from Hashem whatever the situation is, it's from Hashem, and I need to just like, you need to do you, and I need to do me, and we have to all like act. Does that make sense? I'm like trying to like put this in words.
Holding grounding with love and saying like, this is how much I could be in this space.
Right.
And then there's no resentment. There's no judgment either. And then there's holding grounding like, oh, I wish you were different, but I have to hold it, like all that.
Right.
Having a higher expectations of the
Right.
relationship and the person.
That's
Right, and-
hard, like to just hold a boundary with love, like.
Right. I read in one of, like I'm a self-help junkie. So I read in like one of these like self-help book junkies, So I read in one of these books, like it's like everything in life is about detaching. Like that's like the avoda. Like this is like it's called codependent no more. So like she says, like everything is like about like detaching, like we're forever trying to detach. Like we're in a bad situation, detach. We're even in healthy situations, even in like healthy relationships, like you don't want, there's like healthy attachment and unhealthy attachment and like whatever. I'm not going to get into all of this right now, but she basically says like our whole life is like learning how to detach like gracefully, and like similar to what you're saying, she's like, it's really best to detach with love. But if you can't detach with love, then don't. Then detach with not, with anger and whatever you need, but detach, like, but it's.
It really sounds like it all starts from the inside here. Like
Right.
that for he alone, right? He is alone and cannot express the war within him. But when one lives with others, these battles are expressed through family and friends. Like
Right.
really it's from the inside.
Right.
Like you being unsettled inside or at war inside.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is how Hashem, we're going to get into it also in this Sichot HaRan piece that we're going to do, because it's going to talk about like lack and like it's about sighing and breathing into the lack and like that brings it life. Don't worry, we're going to get very out there, of course. So get ready, guys. But like,
is knowing that everything is like from HaKadosh Baruch Hu and everything is from the best from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when you're able to recognize that everything else is just like a klipa and everything else is just like insignificant and nothing, and like the real nakuda of everything is Keter and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then you're able to realize that everything else is just irrelevant and it's just like all puppets happening.
Nothing will rile
right,
you
and
up.
nothing,
Like,
right, exactly.
Like have that
You
inner
won't get
Right. But like just like everything has lack in it, That's the way Hashem made the world. Like it's not, and with that lack comes all these like confusing thoughts within, without, everywhere. Okay, so I'm just reading. You guys don't have this. I'm just reading like a little intro to this piece that we're doing. So this is about the Sichot HaRan piece was actually Rebbe Nachman gave. I'll just read this, okay? The lesson in Sichot HaRan, Torah 8, which is what we're going to read in a minute, was giving on Shabbos Hanukkah, 1802. It includes a discussion of how to bring down the wicked and humble them. Based on the verse, he brings the wicked down low to the earth, from Tehillim. In the same period, the Rebbe brought about the downfall of a certain notorious transgressor, Nemirov, who caused great suffering to those in our group. This happened after Hanukkah, after the Rebbe gave this lesson. The Rebbe said humorously, when you go back and they ask you what you accomplished, say ruach, spirit. That's what we're going to talk about in this piece. This was the truth. We had gained spirit, vital energy. We had received it from the Rebbe to satisfy all our deficiencies. All this is explained in the lesson. After he completed it, he danced a great deal, as he did several times that year. So Rebbe Nachman is giving this lesson on like certain controversy that he was going through from this guy in Nemirov that really apparently was torturing the Breslov Hasidim. And shortly after he gave this, the guy died. So, yeah.
He has like Candace Owens powers.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so Sichot HaRan, Torah 8. Okay. See how precious is the sigh and the groan, the krachs of a Jewish person. It provides wholeness in place of the lack. For through the breath, which is the ruach of life, the world was created, right? Hashem like blew breath into us, blew into the world, and that's how the world was created. And so Rebbe Nachman's saying here, see? Yeah.
Feeling is breathing.
How often do you have to change this
During a rainstorm, yeah.
like in the middle of the night?
Probably
to get
gets
out?
very
No.
heavy.
No, it got better. They did some stuff that made it better, but originally, yeah.
The bucket gets heavy, so you have to like
Right.
can't wait till it gets full.
Right. Anyways, okay. So, give a big sigh. Yeah, okay. Okay, and by the ruach of his mouth, their entire hosts were created. I just want to read it. Ruach piv kol tzva'am. Okay? You will send your ruach. They will be created. You renew the face of the earth. Tishlach ruchacha yibareun uskadesh pnei adama. Okay, so this ruach is also the vital force of human life. This is because man's breath is his life force, as is written in Bereshis. He breathes into his nostrils, nishmas, the breath of life. And all in whose nostrils was a nishmat, a breath of ruach of life. Regarding this, the wise man said, to the extent breath is lacking, so is life. From Maaseh Tuvia, okay? So Rebbe Nachman's just showing us here how breath is essential to life, okay? And he opens this piece by saying, like, you can't even imagine how precious the krach, the sigh, and the groan of a Jewish person is. And it, again, we'll just go over this line. It provides wholeness in the place of lack. Like wherever there's lack, Rabbi Nachman's going to explain this more, but if you like sigh over it, then it brings this fullness into it.
I feel like Rebbe Nachman talks about correcting and sighing a lot. Like I feel like
Yeah, he does.
always brings it in.
Yeah. So he talks about like because it's all about like where your heart's at. Not all about, but he brings like tefillah and hisbodedus and like what's going on in your inner. He speaks a lot about your inner world, and that's where like these sighs is coming from, you know.
Considered like complaining.
Right. So
Not a krach.
right.
Different thing. But it's not the sticker. What's the difference between
No, but really, what is the difference? Like, why is it not a complaining?
Catching is like whining. It's like, why is it
not
like this? Why is it
therapeutic.
like that?
Right.
I wish. And a krach is coming from inside, and it's like, ay Hashem, I just can't take this anymore.
All right. It's aye mekom kivodo. Like, where's the place of your glory? You know, like that Torah that he has also of like asking for asking like where I can't find you
I don't
here.
think it's complaining.
Like, where are you?
It's pain.
Again, like to go back to this line, because I think this line from Reb Joey is huge, you know, like Shalom is holding space for chaos. Like the chaos is there. Nobody's denying that the chaos isn't there. There's lack.
Okay.
Rabbi Nachman saying,
Pretend everything is like rainbows and sunshine.
no, it's not rainbows and sunshine. It's rough, you know, but we know it's from Hashem and we know that it's good.
Okay. Or we want to understand.
Right.
We want.
And if we don't understand, we're sighing. And if we don't understand, we're asking, where's the place of your glory? You know, aye mekom kivodo.
Reveal yourself.
Yeah.
The question is where, not why, right? Is that one of this? Like, what? Or
Right. Where? Right. Where are you? Right. That's a good point. I love that. Okay. By the way, we did this piece in the past, so that's probably why you're also like the sighing. Yeah.
No, you just not.
We did this piece a while ago, but whatever. It had. Yeah, apparently Judy knows.
I don't know. I never know.
No?
No.
That was surprising because I don't usually 5 minutes after while I'll be like,
No, I noticed it's so interesting. Like when I learned these deep concepts, like all these like nourishment for the mind and the soul, like I'll conveniently forget, or like something comes more forward in my brain, and like I know it, but it's not in my brain now. You know,
Right.
I know it somewhere.
No, we need reminders for sure. Yeah. Okay. So we'll continue. Okay. We find that the quintessential life force of everything is its ruach. Whenever a lack exists, it is essentially in the life force, which corresponds to the ruach of life of that thing. This is because it is ruach which gives that thing its existence. So just to like go, I just want to like take a few short seconds to discuss like our 3 parts of our neshama, like neshama, ruach, and nefesh. Okay. So neshama is the highest. And Rebbe Nachman's saying here, like, it's the highest part of our neshama, like the part that's like most attached to Hashem. And Rebbe Nachman's bringing, you know, neshima is a breath in Hebrew, right? So like Rebbe Nachman's saying here, when you're giving like this sigh, like this deep, deep breath, right? And like you're connecting and you're doing it in like a holy way. Because Rebbe Nachman also talks about sighing in the wrong way, like sighing over, I'll say it in a minute, but when you're giving it over like in this high, high way, trying to connect to Hashem at this point, then you're really like, you're showing that you could connect to this highest part of your neshama and you can overtake like the material world and like the difficulties that you're in. I don't know if overtake is the word, surpass is probably the right word. And in a different piece, Rebbe Nachman talks about sighing, like if you're sighing like, oh, you wish you could eat that cheeseburger, you know, then that does a lot of damage actually. Like it's a huge
Misuse of sigh.
Right.
It negatively affects you tremendously. And if you use it for the positive, like, where are you, Hashem? Or like, I wish I didn't do that Avera, or whatever, you know, you'll fill in the blank, then that like pushes you very, very far. And it attaches you to holiness, to neshama, to this highest point of your soul.
And what's the negative way of doing it?
The negative way of doing it is like, I wish I could eat that cheeseburger. Or I hate all the difficulty of living in Israel. Or
What if
whatever.
something's just hard? Is that?
Yeah, but like, well, we were saying, like, it's, again, Shalom is holding this space for the chaos. Like, we're not denying that things aren't hard, but we're trying to use, like, this sighing, this breath to attach. Use it towards holiness. Thank you. Does that make sense? Or,
So it's like,
yeah.
okay, this is hard, and then
You're only sighing because there's lack. Like Rebbe Nachman says that in the first sentence, like second sentence. First sentence, whatever, first or second. It provides wholeness in the place. There is lack, but we're using it.
Only through the lack that you could actually bring in the Shekhinah and the rectification.
Right. It's only, they're all opportunities, you know? But yeah, like we have to like be careful to use it in a way of not doubting Hashem's goodness, in a way to just like,
I don't understand. It's the place where you have the lack
Acknowledge it, but you're not.
that it's an opportunity.
We say B'rei Nefashos, Rabos v'Chasvanon.
right. Do you get it, or you want further clarification? Okay. Okay, so we find, did I read this? We find that the quintessential life force of everything is its ruach. Whenever a lack exists, it is essentially in the life force, which corresponds to the ruach of life of that thing. This is because it's the ruach which gives that thing its existence. And sighing is the extension of the breath. It corresponds to erech hapayim, patience, extended ruach. Therefore, when a person sighs over the lack and extends his ruach, he draws ruach of life to that which he is lacking. For the lack is in essence a departure of the ruach of life. Therefore, through the sigh, the lack is made whole.
that's what Esther just said.
Right, so sighing is this extension of the breath, and that's bringing in this patience, this erech hapayim. I mean, even like just physically, like if you ever tried meditating, like you need a lot of patience. Like the whole breath work involves tons and tons of patience, you know? But Rebbe Nachman saying like erech hapayim, like extended ruach, long, like patient, you know? And therefore when you're, yeah.
You want it open?
No. I mean, does somebody want it open? Was it open on purpose?
What's open?
No, the door, I just
Okay. So when you're sighing, you're adding this ruach of life, this into the chisaron, into the lack. Okay. And then through the sigh, the lack is made whole. Okay.
Maybe sighing is a little bit like surrendering. Like if you're sighing because you're asking Hashem to reveal himself. Like, I know this is good. It feels bad. I know it's good. Like, show me you in this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like surrendering to it. Like you're not fighting it. Just accepting that it's from Hashem.
Right.
Can I say something?
Love that.
In the second part of Tomer Devorah, the Ramak talks about whatever, like all the different parts of your face, how you have to like keep your forehead without wrinkles because that like shows anger, and he talks about breathing and the importance of breathing slowly in and out to self-regulate yourself, because that helps you not get upset. And when you self-regulate yourself to breathing in that way, it automatically prepares you that if something arises, you're already regulated and you won't get angry. So
That's cool.
part of, I guess, the sighing and the breathing, like it's all connected.
Right. And again, like Rebbe Nachman gave this piece when he was like specifically in a certain machlokas and he's talking towards it. So it's like, I'm wondering, wondering if he's saying here, and I'm ad-libbing, but like the only way to deal with machlokas is with patience. Like patience for yourself, patience for the situation, patience for the other person even, like the whole package. The question is, from where does one take the ruach of life? I'm up to 2. No, the essence of the ruach of life is received from the tzaddik, from the Rav of the generation. This is because the essence of the ruach of life can be found in the Torah, as in, and the ruach of God hovers over the water surface. This is the Torah. And the tzaddikim are bound to the Torah, which is why the essence of the ruach of life is with them. So Rebbe Nachman saying here that we grab like this from, like with our sighing from the ruach, we grab this ruach of life through the tzaddik that's connected to the Torah. And he's bringing proof here from the tikkun Zohar that all the ruach comes from the Torah. So because the tzaddik is so connected to the Torah, then we're able to like pull it from him in our personal situation. When the person who is tied to the tzaddik, to the Rav of the generation, sighs and extends his ruach, he draws the ruach of life from the generation tzaddik, for the tzaddik is bound to the Torah, which is where the ruach is. This is why the tzaddik is called a man in whom there is ruach, from Bamidbar, ish asher ruach bo, who knows how to deal with the ruach of each individual, for the tzaddik draws and completes the ruach of life of each and every person as above. Right, so the tzaddik knows like how to put in basically how to give each person what they need. And this corresponds to the ruach sifoni, the northern wind that blows upon King David's harp. King David's harp had 5 strings paralleling the 5 books of the Torah. The northern ruach, which blew upon it, alludes to the ruach of Hashem that hovers over the water surface. This ruach sifoni corresponds to the ruach hatzafun, the hidden spirit in man's heart, this being the ruach of life. It's basically saying, it's saying a lot, but it's like, again, showing us how like the tzaddik is able to like, he knows what's in a man's heart, and he's like knows how to help them. And like connecting to the tzaddik is connecting us to this ruach of life. Our sages taught Tzafon is lacking, from Baba Basra, and the lack is in the heart, as is written. He will give you that which your heart lacks, and God will fulfill all your requests. And the essence of ruach of life is located in the heart. It's also like so Rebbe Nachman said the essence of the ruach of life is located in the heart, but it's also like where we feel the lack. Like it's where we feel like the pain of everything. So like he's tying it together. As we find in the tikkun Zohar, all the body's organs are directed by the heart, which is like a king, while the arteries are like the soldiers, as is said, to wherever the ruach intended to go. For the ruach is in the heart, and the lack is a departure of the ruach, whose place is in the heart. This is why the lack is felt specifically in the heart. Therefore, when the lack, which is an aspect of ruach, is filled, it is said, he will give you that which your heart lacks, and God will fulfill all your requests. And so the Jews who receive the ruach of life from the Torah are called safun, as in they plot against your people and take counsel against svunecha, your hidden ones. Okay, I'm going to move on from this, but the point, because it's saying a lot, and it's pretty, he's giving a lot of proofs, but
Can I add something?
yeah.
Part of the heart is always empty because it's emptying and filling.
Right.
And the lungs are the ones that feed the inhale and exhale of the lungs actually like directly oxygenate, right? I think
Right.
oxygenates the heart.
Right.
Wow.
That is cool. Right. So connect
So
it.
cool how like spiritually everything matches.
Right. Yeah. So what's the connection? Like you need the,
The air is like our
Right.
shema, our breath,
The Shema.
right.
and the heart is.
The heart is we're feeling the lack, and then we're oxygenating the blood and oxygenating the heart. Very cool.
That's what CPR, 2 breaths and then the emptying of the heart.
Right.
Can you do that in prospect also?
Okay.
A little bit, a little bit. Yes.
So that was graduate school,
Huh?
that was graduate school.
Okay, but what of the wicked people who speak arrogantly, haughtily, and contemptuously of the tzaddik? From where do they receive the ruach to fill the lack? But no, there is a rav of the klipa, and he corresponds to Esav, as it is written in connection to Esav. I have rav a lot. I have a. That's a
It's not talking about the rabbi.
rav.
It is.
It's not the Rav of the Klipa?
Yeah.
Well,
Rabbi of the Klipa?
when Rebbe Nachman saying that, it hinted to it. When Esav said, "I have rav," like yesh li rav. That's how this is correspond, because it's showing you that there's also basically wherever there's like a thing of holy, there has to be a thing of negative, of klipa, you know, and that's a common theme in Kabbalah and Rebbe Nachman, whatever. So Rebbe Nachman saying, so where do the wicked get their power from? We're getting our power from the tzaddik ha'emes, and they're getting their power from this, from the other side, from the rav of Esav, you know, which Onkelos renders Rav Ravei Esav, who is the Rav Bechinas Harav de Klipa, okay, who is the Rav of the husk. The wicked receive their ruach from him, and he corresponds to the impure ruach, a ruach se'ara, a storm wind, as in, but my brother Esav is an ish sa'ir, right? It's the same word, se'ara, storm wind, and sa'ir, hairy. This is why their ruach is temporarily strong and mighty, much like the storm wind, which blows strongly while it lasts. Therefore, he blows away all his enemies from Tehillim, specifically blows. The wicked man overpowers them through the blowing ruach of his mouth, which is mighty while it lasts, but he has no permanence at all. And in the end is spent and disappears, his body and soul left wasted, from Tikkun Zohar. So Esav blows very hard, like this Rav of the Klipa blows very hard, and it's confusing, like kind of like what you were saying, you know, like it's like, how do you know? You know, like it's hard to know, because like something like, right, like, and Rebbe Nachman spoke a ton about like Rebbeim who are really not fitting to be Rebbeim and very corrupt, and like not taking advice from them and being careful about them. And they blow hard, you know, they blow really, really hard. But Rebbe Nachman saying, but like it's a storm, like it ends. The storm eventually fades. And that's opposed to like, I'm just saying a bit outside because I don't think we're going to get to much more, but that's opposed to like the ruach of life, you know, that's, it's like Erech Apayim, it's patience. Like it's, Rebbe Nachman's kind of saying here, like wait it out, like it will dissipate. Thank you. I'm just looking what else. Yeah, okay, we're basically done, but I'm just gonna read one other, that's kind of like the main part that has to do with machlokas here, but yeah, I see it, thank you. But I'm just gonna read like from Likutei Eitzos.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does anyone learn Tanya in terms of like the Benoni and the Tzaddik and the Rosh?
I mean, I know a little bit, but no, I don't
How
learn.
does this correspond to that? Because it's not so clear that you're basically Benoni. Like, so
Right.
Tzaddik is like,
Right, tzaddik is, right,
it's not so simple. That, like,
Right.
He's making it very like Tzaddik and Russia, and like Esav, and like it's very black and white.
well, it's kind of saying like you could draw power from, I feel like this perfectly fits, because there's like the tzaddik ha'emes, right, which is like the tzaddik, and then we're, like you said, we're like the Benoni, and like we could draw from anywhere. Like, because we're the Benoni, we're like in the middle, and we could draw from the tzaddik or the
Benoni is
Rasha.
person that's constantly trying and struggling and overcoming, and it's through that action of trying and struggling that makes them the Benoni. It's it's that conflict and that nisayon and that energy of work. that's what makes them not the tzaddik.
Okay, I'm just going to read this Likutei Eitzos because it just like brings it down, this piece, and it's specifically on this piece. As a Jew, your signs and groans are very precious. What makes them so valuable is the result, obtaining what you lack. When you sigh before Hashem about your truly pressing concerns, whether those are spiritual because you're short on spiritual aptitude, or you have actual material shortages, God forbid, he responds. For example, a person might need healing or basic income, and he sighs sincerely to Hashem as a genuine, heartfelt request that he send those needs. When you sigh like this, Hashem has compassion on you and helps you by sending the missing items that made you sigh and sincerely ask him to provide them, be they spiritual, like improved character traits, or material necessities. But your sigh helps you gain what's missing only if you're close to the genuine tzaddik, the true leader of the generation. Closeness to tzaddik means studying his works and living according to the da'as and advice he puts forward in them. Then when you sigh, you receive from the tzaddik a spirit of life that fills what you're missing. What I mean is, when you have a real attachment to a genuine tzaddik, you receive from him da'as, faith, and patience. Patience means perseverance, never tiring of sighing and requesting of Hashem rescue and mercy when shortages and trials roll over you, forging ahead until Hashem helps and eases the shortages and trials, and you are saved. So, recap it. Like basically, like he's saying here, like when we sigh into what we're lacking and asking Hashem for these things, which is what you're supposed to do, and you're doing this while attaching to the true tzaddik and trying to work on yourself and do better and be a better person. Like this also brings on like this patience of just like persevering and getting through the difficulties of life and avodas Hashem and everything.
It's a tool.
Right. So Hashem should bless us all, that all our lacks should be filled, and we should see like world peace, as Rebbe Nachman says, will be when Mashiach comes. And yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.